You have campaigned long and hard for women and girls sports to be for women and girls. What are your feelings about Donald Trump's decision?
Yes, obviously, I'm really pleased, to see that. I mean, what I've been talking about is biology and how biology affects physical activity like sport. And all the peer-reviewed studies that we have shows that we can't remove male physical advantage. So what we were asking is for young girls and women to not have a fair and level playing field. Now, women's sport only gets 4% of the sponsorship dollar across the world. So we have this tiny piece of the cake. And over the last few years, we've lost over £1.5 million worth of those winnings to males that are identifying as females. Some 3,500 races have been won by males in women's sport, and over 11,000 races have actually been affected. So, this isn't a very small number of people. This is a lot of women that are being affected. And I speak out because I was racing East Germans for nearly 20 years. Nothing was done to stop it. And I just didn't want to see another generation of young girls lose out on their opportunities. 51% of this world is female, and biology actually exists. Now, I don't want anyone not to be involved in sport, but what I do think is fair is that 51% gets the opportunity to have fair and safe sport. And that's really what I've been speaking about.
What would you say, though, to the trans athletes who say that they are being denied opportunities?
Well, they're not, are they? I mean, the misconception and the words that's been used a lot in the mainstream media is that transgender athletes have been banned. Well, that's not the case, and they have never, ever been banned. What we're saying is that males should not be in sport for females. You can still compete in sport against people with the same biology. And what I would like to see happen is that we have a female protected category, which is what actually all of the candidates for the IOC now is also saying that they will do anyway. And then I would like to see an open category, maybe replace the word male category, which means that anyone can go into that category and identify however they like. And if that makes them feel more comfortable and that is the way we need to go forward, then let's do that. But we need to make sure that we protect that female category. Otherwise, women will just not have the opportunity to win anything. And it's already, as I mentioned, much, much tougher for female athletes than it is for males when it comes to opportunities.
And in terms of the Olympics, Donald Trump has also gone further with this, saying that he, potentially is going to ban those who are male but identify as female from coming and competing in America for the Los Angeles Games. Do you
He's
think
not
that this
saying
will
ban
put
again,
pressure?
though. You're using this word
Sorry.
ban. It's not true. What he's saying is, I'm not going to allow males to compete in the female competition. So he's not actually going to ban anybody, all right? And that's really important.
He was talking about banning access to the US for international athletes. That was what I was talking about.
Only if they want to compete in the female competition. If they want to compete with the male competition against other males, they will not be banned.
Indeed. Right, so we're on the same page. But do you think this will put pressure on the IOC? Because at the moment, what we've seen is that the decisions about who can compete in which category is down to individual sporting bodies. Do you welcome this in the sense that this will put additional pressure now on the IOC?
Yeah, I think so, except for actually right now we've got the candidacy going on. We've had meetings just recently, and every single one of those candidates has already said, as part of their mandate going forward, as part of their promises to be elected, that they will protect the female category. So in fact, that was almost put in place before Donald Trump, did his executive order yesterday. This just reiterates it. And of course, with the Olympics being in LA, those two things will be coming together in, 3.5 years' time. Time really flies. And, let's hope that LA gets itself all back together again. We've all been thinking about horrendous things for them, and it's 3 short years to get the city back up and able to cope with an Olympic Games.
And do you think that this will have any impact on decisions here in the UK?
I hope so. I mean, my problem at the moment with the UK is we have a lot of organisations have taken the very cowardly option, which is to protect elite sport, which is 1%, and they've not protected the pathways or the club sports. So things like the FA, cricket, golf, tennis, they're all protecting 1%, which means that 99% of women and girls are not being protected. And in sports like football, where there is contact, it's extremely dangerous. I mean, we know of 80 trans-identifying males at the moment that are in the women's game that are taking places, but are also increasing the injury risk to young girls. And what we actually know factually is that dads and mums are removing their daughters whenever they think there's going to be an injury risk. So girls are self-excluding, and that's really important, that we talk about the feelings of young girls, not always the feelings of trans athletes.